Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am Arisha and this is Realigned Mindset. And today is a topic that I get asked about so often. It's the psychology of confidence and how to build it from scratch. I know we've all suffered at some point with lack of confidence or felt overly confident and actually it's turned out to be the wrong thing. I know that I have walked into meetings several times and felt beyond out of place, even though I've been invited to the meeting, even though this is something that I'm supposed to be involved in, and not felt like I was supposed to be there, or felt like you just generally don't fit in, which makes you feel like you're always on the back foot, like you missed the joke, or that there's some part of you that got lost along the way and you don't know how to find it. I want to help you today to figure out how to build that confidence, because confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something that you build. It's something that you create, and it's something that you work on. By the end of this video, you'll have science-backed tools and exercises to start feeling confident in any situation. So let's get started. Let's start with the science part and the science behind confidence. What is confidence? Confidence is quite misunderstood. People think you're confident because you have a lot of knowledge, or you're confident because you know the right people, or you're confident that you know the outcome. When in reality, it's about trusting yourself even when you don't. In those moments of confusion, in those moments of self-doubt, in those moments where your limiting beliefs are screaming at you, trusting that you will be able to get through this situation for yourself is what builds your confidence. Our brains are set a certain way due to our habits. Our habits that we've built over years and years of behaving the way that we do, things that have happened to us, things that we believe in from our parents, from our teachers, from the people around us. And those habits have kept us the way that we are today. So if you're not confident in a specific area, say it's at work, or say it's you want to learn a new topic and you're not really confident about it, or you want to learn a new skill and you're not very confident about it, the only way to become and build more confident in that thing that you're looking to become more confident in is to build new neural pathways within your brain, which only happens by creating habits that align with your future goals. So let me break this down. The first time you do anything, it's terrifying, it's scary, it's not normal, it's confusing, and you are definitely not confident in it. But the second time you do it, your brain sees it and understands it and knows what you're doing, but still holds on to those limiting beliefs and those fears and those self-doubt affirmations that you have in your mind. So you need to push past those. And the only way that you can do that is by doing the same thing consistently for 90 days. 90 days is how long it takes to build a new neural pathway in your brain for you to understand that you are capable of doing this thing, and this thing is now a part of you. Say you want to learn how to play the guitar. You have to practice that instrument over and over again with self-doubt, with limiting beliefs, with fear, with lack of confidence for 90 days until your brain starts to believe, oh, actually, I'm really good at this. It doesn't matter whether your teacher tells you you're really good at this. It doesn't matter whether your family are happy that you're learning a new skill. It is about you and how confident you feel in that thing. Doing something for 90 days will help your brain detach itself from the fear and the confusion and the lack of confidence that you have in this thing. The reason why we create new habits is to build a world where we are happier, where we are more content, where we feel more fulfilled, where we feel more satisfied with the people and things around us. And that happiness kick, or that happiness check mark, is a chemical called dopamine. And dopamine hits whenever you feel like you're doing something really well, or you're doing something that you've really wanted to do for quite some time. It's every single time that you are happy in the situation or the thing that you're doing, that creates more dopamine in your brain. Now, there are ways to trick your brain, there are ways to create more dopamine, obviously, but when you're building new habits for success, or when you're building new habits to make yourself feel more confident, you need to trigger that dopamine hit every single time that you're learning something new, which can be tough because learning something new is confusing, is not rewarding at the beginning. But there are ways of believing and feeling gratitude for the thing that you're doing, because practicing something should be as joyful as the thing itself. I want you to know that confidence is a skill, not a personality trait. Nobody is born confident. Everybody grows that skill from practicing and doing things and putting themselves in uncomfortable positions in the first place to know how it feels like. I'm watching this TV show called The Recruit on Netflix, and the main character, Owen, is a lawyer. The program kind of seems like he's just fallen through life. And the reason why he constantly acts like that or is that way is because he knows that he's always going to get himself out of a situation. It shows kind of deadly and lots of spies and lots of bullets and everything. But my point is that he has gone through his life, or this character has gone through his life winging it, just trying it out and seeing what happens and knowing that he is capable of getting himself out of bad situations because he's always done so in the past. And it's that level of confidence that I want to grow within your mind. I want you to understand that you are capable of being confident in absolutely every single area of your life, as long as you're prepared to put in the work and the time to do so. I want to talk you through some tools and techniques that are going to help you build your confidence in multiple different ways. Now, not all of these ways will feel great to you. Some of them you'll be absolute no to, but other ones you'll feel, okay, let me try this. And I want you to know that it takes 90 days of you trying this one thing for you to build and feel totally confident within yourself at doing this thing. So the first one I'm going to talk to you about is called the small world wins, or there's another name for it, but I can't remember. It's basically where you get small wins for a bigger goal. So say you want to become better at public speaking. It's one of my goals for this year, and this is one of the ways that I'm doing it. Now, you can want to feel more confident in meetings or want to feel more confident around your superiors, whatever it is. Having such a big goal is terrifying, and there are so many ways that you can tackle it. I want you to start thinking about how you can start public speaking, but on a smaller frame. And the best way to do that is to start talking about your preferred topic or your speciality to people who want to hear about it. So if you want to talk about whatever you do at work, I want you to pick somebody at work who you can talk to about your topic freely and openly. And I want you to continuously do this. I want you to pick random people in your life. You may not know whether these people, or you may not have ever spoken to them before, but I want you to put in a conscious effort to talk to somebody new, to create that habit of speaking to somebody brand new that you've never spoken to about a topic that you don't feel very confident in. Now, all of that sounds awful and atrocious, I know, because I have put myself through this before, and also people have put me in this position before. My friends are really sweet and they like to tell people what I do and that I work for myself and that I'm running this business, and they'll look at me as if to say, go on, sell yourself, in a crowded room, and I sit there and think, I don't want to. That sales pitch is not the way that I like to talk about mindset coaching. However, because my friends kept doing this to me, I built that knowledge and that know-how and the words and my elevator pitch that way, by telling random people, random strangers, about what I do, how I help people, and how I'm able to change people's lives. And that is how I grew confident in telling people that I am a mindset coach, not that I'm just a business owner, not that I am starting my own business and I don't really know how it's going, not me saying, yes, I'm trying this thing out. I owned who I am. I owned the mindset coaching part of my business. I owned that I am capable of supporting and helping people through the expertise that I've learned in this way. And that's how I have built confidence in telling people that I'm a mindset coach. Because when you first start a business, you have to give yourself your own job title. And probably for the very first time, it was definitely my first time giving myself my job title. And people don't know what it means. People have absolutely no idea. So they're like, oh, what is that? How does that work? What do you actually do? And I have to explain it in a way that other people are going to understand it constantly. And so if you're outside of my circle, or if you're not really into learning and development, then you will never have heard of what a mindset coach does. And that is what I want to change with this series, because there are so many misconceptions about the way that people are and the way that people live their lives that I know you can change, and that is what I want to teach you. So I want you to take these exercises as ways in which you can shift your mindset and your confidence on the daily basis, because they're small wins. They're small ways in which you can push yourself that doesn't feel overwhelming. It doesn't feel like your whole world will crash and burn. It feels like, okay, I'm going to have a conversation with somebody new about a certain topic that I want to talk about, and it's either going to go well or it's not. And if it's not, I want you to know that it's not on you. I want you to understand that not everybody's going to want to hear what you have to say. Not everybody's going to want to understand what you have to say. But you took the effort and the energy that it takes to start a conversation with somebody new, and you did it. And I want you to hold so much gratitude and so much pride in just trying. And I want you to try for 90 days to build that habit in public speaking or whatever it is that you're looking to grow in. The next thing I want to talk about is self-talk, the conversations that we have in our minds before we try anything new. I've had this conversation with so many people who say, I don't have negative conversations, I just know that I can't. And that is a negative conversation in itself. If you know that you're not skilled in something, that's not a foregone conclusion. That's just you saying that you're not going to bother trying to disbelieve that. What I want you to notice and what I want you to start paying attention to are the ways in which you tell yourself that you're not confident. There are so many different ways that you can say this. Saying that you're not educated enough. I currently, one of my jobs that I do, one of the businesses that I own, is a job that if I were to apply for it, I would need a master's to do. But because the business that I work for is a startup, because of the way that I was introduced to the company on my talents and my skills and not my qualifications, I have this job now and I love it. And I keep growing and I keep developing and I keep getting paid more money for it because I keep getting better at this one skill that I have. And for me, it's not all about how being educated is. For me, it was about practicing the skill. So my other job is as a color consultant. So I help people figure out how to paint their houses and what colors to paint their houses. And I have zero background in interior design, architecture, anything like that. No background in that whatsoever. But what I do have is a really good eye and a really good skill at matching colours and seeing things for the colours and the shades and the undertones that they own. I say it's a skill because I did not know that I did this, and it wasn't until somebody pointed out that I'm really good at it that I noticed that I had this skill. That is why I'm still working for this company for the 3rd year now. Now, none of that is something that I aimed for. None of that is something that I was looking to be involved in. If I had applied for that job, I would have not, to be perfectly honest with you, because I don't have the qualifications, I don't have the experience, and I definitely don't have the network around me that has those requests. So I want you to think about all of the ways in which you say you're not qualified. The next most common one is I don't have enough money. Now, I used to say this to myself constantly, almost every single day, especially when I was going to buy lunch or I was going to go for a coffee. I'd be like, I really would love a smoothie today. But in the back of my head, I tell myself I'm too broke for that. I'm too broke, I'm not going on holiday, I'm too broke, I'm not going to buy these shoes, I'm too broke, too broke, too broke. And I would constantly say that to myself. And what that does is when you constantly reaffirm a belief that you have, it turns into your reality. This is how you create a self-perpetuating reality. This is you saying something that isn't true and then believing it and then repeating it to hone in and double down on that belief. That belief that doesn't help you change or get any more money or think about your money differently. That belief system that is holding you back from building something that you know that you want. That belief system that is not nice. You're not being nice to yourself, you're not being kind to yourself, you're not being grateful for the things that you do have. And I know this because I was that person. And the first time that I had to invest in my own education and in my own business was the first time that I was terrified. I was so scared that I was spending my money on things that are not going to really help me, that I'm not going to get enough out of it because I don't know how to go back into education again, because I don't have the money, because I genuinely was that person that was living paycheck to paycheck. I had nothing to talk about at the end of the day. I would spend my entire paycheck on a holiday. I was so bad with my money that when I had to invest, I was terrified. I was so terrified. But until I did it for 6 months straight and I just paid the consequences, I thought to myself, well, actually, I really need this. I really need this investment to know how to coach better. I need this investment to understand what I'm doing with my business. I need this investment to help me change my life. So this is an all or nothing type of place that I'm in right now. And I went all in. I didn't go on holiday. I didn't buy myself nice things. I just struggled. I stopped buying coffee in the morning. I stopped buying coffee with pastry. I stopped going on holiday. I stopped so many things in my life because this coaching business became my absolute everything. I had to put in so much effort. And yes, I did suffer in the beginning. And no, I'm not suffering anymore. I have this strong belief that people think about their money so badly. And it's the reason why people think they're constantly broke. Because if you had told me before I had invested in my coaching that I was going to spend that much money monthly to re-educate myself, I would have laughed in your face. I would have been like, I must win the lottery in the future. And it wasn't that. It was just the way that I thought about investing my money as opposed to spending my money on things that I didn't need. And I have that mindset to this day. I won't spend frivolously. I will know what I'm spending on. If I want something, say I want a new necklace or I want a new pair of shoes, I will think about that thing for so long before I actually buy it, because I know how hard I work for my money, and I know that what I want to spend my money on has to be something that enhances my life. And I have that mindset to this day. And I never feel guilty about spending on things that other people don't value or don't respect or don't have in their lives. I have grown this belief system where I know what's good for me. I know what it is I need, and I've built a very decisive way in which I use my money. And that is what I want to help you with. And one of the things your negative self-talk will teach you is that it's so scary to be without money. And it is. But one thing that you do have is reoccurring income. One thing that you do have is something that is always going to be there as long as you have that job. Now, not everybody has a secure job and not everybody has a very well-paying job. So I understand that. But what I want you to know and what I want you to start doing is looking at your money differently and looking at the things that you spend your money on differently. Is it worth it? Every year I look at my incomings and outgoings, and I look at the subscriptions that I've gathered along the year, and I think to myself, what am I doing with all of these things? I'm seriously questioning why I have a Spotify subscription right now. I'm seriously questioning why I have a Zoom subscription right now. I take all my calls on Zoom, but I know that a lot of people are switching over to Google because it's free. So I'm really thinking about my subscriptions and the things that I spend my money on constantly. I'm thinking of better ways to invest. I'm thinking of how to grow it. And that has come from not having any money to begin with, and still spending on my greatest self, on what I know I'm going to use and need in the future. So I want you to start thinking about all of the negative things that you say to yourself, catching yourself saying them, and asking yourself, how can I make this better for myself? You need to reframe it and think to yourself, okay, I keep saying that I'm broke. I keep saying that I'm broke. I'm not going to win the lottery tomorrow. What can I do with the things that I have right now to change and reframe this? So if I am overspending, why am I overspending? If I am overspending, how can I pull that back? And think about I'm broke as such a negative statement, when in reality you have a reoccurring income. You get paid from your job every week, every month, whatever it is. And I want you to know that that is a level of security that not everybody has. That is a privilege. I want you to think about that privilege and be grateful for it. Instead of saying I'm broke, constantly saying I'm going to get money so I know that I can spend on this, or I know that I'm going to get money next month, I'm going to wait till next month to spend my money. And constantly reminding yourself of doing this will help you in the long run so much. It will change the way that you live your life. If you want to start catching your negative thoughts, I want you to just have a normal week, right? You go to work, you do your activities in the evening, go to the gym, see all the people that you normally see, go out on the weekends, whatever it is. But I want you to heighten your awareness to the things that you say to yourself. I want you to pay extra careful attention to the way that you speak to yourself as well, because a lot of the times my clients are so harsh on themselves but give so much grace to everybody else around them. And I want you to catch yourself in the ways that you hold yourself back and you block yourself from doing things that you really want to do. And with those negative things that you catch yourself saying, I want you to reframe them into a positive. I want you to reframe them and think of them in a way that you know will help you grow, or will help you change your mind about something, or will help you build your future life. And once you've turned those negative thoughts into more positive ones that help you grow, I want you to start creating a list of affirmations that you have for yourself. Your affirmations can be anything. I attract wealth and money and love every single day. I am the luckiest girl I've ever been. I'm full of self-love and self-care, and I'm very kind to myself. Whatever they need to be, I want you to start creating affirmations for yourself to replace those negative things, but also for you to start focusing on the positive. If you said to yourself that I'm broke and you're turning that into I am better with my money, I am growing my money, I am investing my money wisely. So I'll take I am investing myself wisely. Every single time you spend money, I want you to say that affirmation to yourself. Every time you buy yourself a cup of coffee, I want you to say I am investing in my wealth, I am investing in my success, I am investing in my future, whatever that affirmation is. So every time you do that activity, you say the affirmation and it becomes a belief system. And we all know the things that we say and the things that we do create our lifestyle and our surroundings. So the more that you are positive, more positive things that will happen to you. And your positive sayings will become your self-fulfilling prophecy. Let's move from the mind into your body. Now, I don't know if you've seen people say to yourself when you're walking into a meeting, or when you're presenting in a meeting, or when you're meeting a brand new group of people, there is a pose that people do that is called the power pose. And it's basically you standing up straight, your feet hip width apart, and your arms by your side like this. And it is meant to increase the confidence in yourself. That is why we do this. This is the confidence pose. This is the power pose. This is the pose that you do when you want to feel and seem and be seen as being confident and be seen as the person who knows what they're doing. Now, this pose has been proven to actually make yourself feel better and more confident about whatever you're about to do. And the reason why that powerful pose works is because that pose puts you in the shape of power. It puts your shoulders back, your chest is open to attract more people in. You are not shy in the corner cowering. You are presenting yourself in the best way possible to the room. Now, being physical, we all know that when we do yoga, it makes us feel better, it makes us feel more confident, it makes us feel more connected to our bodies. That is what this pose does as well. It makes you feel more connected to your confidence. Now, you don't need to go around walking around like Superwoman, but you do need to start standing to attention, start paying more attention to your posture and the way you're presenting yourself to the world and the way that you walk into a room. And if you want to meet more people, if you want to be more connected and build a bigger network, or if you want to attract the love of your life, you are going to have to be open to that. You are going to have to stand up straight and tall and be seen as somebody who is open to a conversation, open to a new connection. And that is what your physical body can do for you. It has been proven that people that stand more confidently are far more attractive to people in job interviews, in social situations, and at networking events as well. So I want you to start paying attention to the way that you physically stand in a room. Now, sometimes this might not always come to the forefront of your mind because you want to feel more confident, you want to feel more cozy, you want to feel like yourself, which is fine, absolutely. But when you are walking into a room that you know that you want to be in, or that you're being asked to be in for your career, for your lifestyle, whatever it is, I want you to start, before you walk into the door, just check how you're standing. Just check how you are presenting yourself to the world. Check in with what your body's doing, what your head is doing. If you've always got your head down, how are you going to feel confident? How are you going to know what to be confident for? How are you going to understand what confidence feels like physically if you're always cowering in the corner, and if you've always got your head down and your shoulders slumped and you're feeling comfy, sure, but not confident? And confidence is the thing that we are trying to grow. So opening yourself up, shoulders back, head up, chin up, all of those things will help you feel more confident physically. And I'm not talking about the size you are, the height you are, whatever that is. It doesn't actually matter. Your confidence is something that you are growing for you in the body that you are in. And I want you to know that no matter what shape, what size, what height, what stage of life you're in, whatever it is, you get to be confident in yourself. You get to grow your confidence for you and for your best self. And that is who we're working towards being. We're working towards being our most confident, our best, our brightest, our happiest self. And mindset is the thing that's going to change that. And the way that we can physically change our bodies is by showing up as our best self, standing tall, standing open, and sometimes even with a smile on. I want you to check in with your physical body. I want you to check in with the way that you stand and the way that you approach people and the way that people approach you when you stand less confident and when you stand more confident. Just check in and see how it feels and see how other people react to it. and let me know. The next way that you can train yourself to be more confident is probably one of my favorite ones. It's the one that I go to more often for me personally and tell my clients to do, because it's the one that shifts your mind I can't into I can so quickly, and it's exposure therapy for confidence. I am quite a shy person when you first meet me. I'm not very talkative, I'm not very loud or outgoing, I'm just not that person. But get me one-to-one and ask me anything about my preferred topic, I will yap all day and all night. Because when you meet those people that are confident or that you're comfortable with, you become your best self because you'll feel comfortable to do that. Now, I want you to build that comfortability in the world around you. I want you to build that comfortability and that capableness that you have in this real world. So, okay, it's currently February as I'm recording this, which is known for being the month of love and the month of connection with your loved ones. But I'm single. And I love being single. I talk so much about self-love and how to grow that and how to build that. One of the ways that I say to show yourself more love and to connect with yourself more is to take yourself out on a date. Now, to some people, this sounds horrific. You have to be outside on your own in the real world. What are you going to do? How are you going to do that? Why would you even do that? The biggest reason I say that is because the more time that you spend on your own, the better you know yourself, the quicker you become best friends with yourself. And it is the best way for you to learn more about the way that you speak to yourself, the way that you react to things, and the way that your mind creates these belief systems for your world. And so solo dates are the best way to do that. However, to go on a solo date, you have to leave your house alone, sit down in a restaurant, a bar, a cafe, whatever, by yourself, and have a drink, have some food, have a glass of wine, whatever it is, and do nothing. There's nobody there to talk to. So you either take a book, or you take a journal, or you take your sketchbook, whatever it is, and you sit there by yourself. And it's the best feeling once you've done it. It's such an empowering move for you to build confidence within your mind and for you to really quickly realize how less scary it is. Exposure therapy is a very quick way to understand how your brain is tricking you into thinking things are scary. I've been to loads of restaurants by myself. I've been to loads of places on my own, and I'm happy to wait for people if they're late or if they're running around, or if I want to go to try out a cafe and nobody wants to go with me, I'll go by myself. And it is the best thing. Sometimes exploring the world by yourself, you realize how not scary it is and how kind the world can be and how amazing it is to meet people who are doing exactly the same as you, because there is a whole world out there that dines alone. There's a whole world out there that goes to the cinema by themselves, that travels by themselves, and it's not scary to them because they've done it so many times. They've exposed themselves to that activity for so long. It's no longer scary. It's something that they crave. It's something that they love because they know that they're giving themselves the time they need to grow, to discover, to learn new things, and to explore the world, and to learn to have your own conversations, to have your own thoughts and beliefs, and to build your own narrative around certain things. More often than not, we'll look to other people when something happens. If something goes wrong, I'll always go to my dad. I'm like, what is this? What happens to this? What does this mean? And when you start to build your self-confidence and your self-reliance, you start to learn that actually you're the one that needs to find your own answers, because not everybody's answers or not everybody's solutions work for you. Some of them feel right because they're said with so much confidence, but after a while you realize that actually that's not what I needed. I needed something different. And the only way to find what you truly need is to ask yourself that question and to figure it out on your own. And so going out by yourself will help you realize and find that way that you can talk to yourself about things. It will give you that space to do that, to create your own narrative of your own world. The thing that you're trying to grow confidence in, I want you to challenge yourself and do it a lot. You have to do this several times before you start to feel really confident. But the first time that you do it, or the second time that you do it, you'll start to realize it was never that scary. It was all your fears coming to the forefront of your mind. And in reality, it was never that scary. It was never that bad. It was never that deep in the first place. So exposure therapy is where you put yourself at the front of the line on the main stage with everybody watching you, and you do it over and over again. And that is going to grow your confidence, but also your self-reliance. So I want you to figure out how you can do that for yourself in the thing that you're trying to grow confidence in. As a business owner, I've had to grow my confidence in several areas of my life. One of the biggest ways, and one of the things that I have to keep practicing is working on new technology. I'm not very confident in looking at new apps or looking at different ways that technology can help my business. It's a massive block for me, and I always look at it and I think, maybe not today. I'll open the app or I'll open the website and I think, not today. This isn't going to work for me today. I cannot do it. And it's only because I haven't done that thing enough times to feel confident about it. Now I have so many different apps and so many different systems that I need for my business to function that I can't afford to have that fear anymore. So I know that I need to spend more time focusing and using that piece of technology for me to become more confident in it, for me to not hold myself back. Knowing that nobody is confident from day one is going to help you so much, because I know people that think, oh, they were born confident, or they're super lucky, so they don't really need to care or be scared of what the outcome will be. That is not true. Confidence is grown by exposing yourself to the same thing over and over again until you become confident in that thing, until you become super knowledgeable about that thing. And I want you to know that you are capable of change by doing these things over and over again, by creating places where you are in a growth mode, where you are putting yourself forward to grow into becoming a more confident version of yourself. These tips and tricks are things that people use all day, every day. If you come across somebody who is very confident in public speaking, let's say, all you have to do is ask that person what they did. And I guarantee you they'll say they just did it. They just did it to become the more confident they are. Or they will say, I'm not that confident in it, I just do it anyway. And it's your brain thinking, because you see them doing it, that they're really confident in it. And it's not the fact. It's just them exposing themselves to that thing to become more confident in that thing. That is what I want you to take away from today. I want you to know and have an understanding that confidence isn't something you're born with. Nobody gets a free ticket of confidence. That is not a thing. You build it on your own, doing your own thing, your own way. One of the fundamental beliefs that you need to pick up is that you have all of the answers for yourself. When I coach people through their mindset ups and downs and their limited beliefs and all of the rest of it, that is one of the things that I have to drill into people's minds. If you've got a question about how you want to become successful, if you want to have a question about how you can become more confident, you have those answers. I've got all of the tools and techniques for you and the time to talk you through it and to check in afterwards, absolutely. But what I don't have is you. You have all of the answers, all of the suggestions, all of the ways in which you feel comfortable doing things. So it is very much on you to build your own confidence. I can tell you how to do it and give you all of these tips and tricks, but at the end of the day, you are going to have to step out into the world as that version of yourself and do the things that feel scary and do the things that make you feel like not the smartest person in the room, or walk into rooms where you just don't know anybody and still feel confident, and use your power pose and walk up to somebody that you don't know and just introduce yourself, because that is what will help you grow in confidence. And that is how you'll actually learn a lot more about yourself as well. It will teach you and show you that you are capable of change and you are capable of growth, and you have so much more to give to this world. I would love to know that thing that you are trying to grow more confidence in. So please, please, please put it in the comments below and I can try and keep you accountable. Also, if you like this video, then please subscribe to my channel so that you are aware the next time I post a video, and we can continue this series together, helping and supporting each other, growing and becoming our best selves. I'm Arisha. If you've got any questions, please ask them in the comments. I'm happy and here to help you through this journey. Lots of love. Mwah.